So now we're back here with another week of another Boruto episode where I have to try to find a reason as to why I'm okay with watching this week's episode, even though it's just another episode of watching, honestly, just mediocrity, and that's saying a lot coming from the Boruto anime, where there's been just a lot of not very good episodes, and honestly, you could probably say the exact same thing for for what's currently going on with the Boruto anime right now, considering that it's just about Kawaki going to the academy and then he gets into some sort of hijinks with the other students because something happens between them and he tries to resolve it. That's essentially just the exact same thing that ends up happening in this episode, except the rest of Team 7 with Boruto, Sabada, and Mitsuki, they go in as special instructors and hijinks ensue from there, right? So Boruto is kind of being, pushy about Kawaki being in the academy because he obviously doesn't know that Kawaki is there to, specifically asked by Naruto and Shikamaru to protect the princess that's in the class. He doesn't know that, so he just thinks that he's going there to actually learn the proper basics of being a shinobi, despite the fact that he's already considered a genin, which none of the other students know as well. So Kawaki is just fucking there, and Boruto's doing shit to embarrass him. They get into a fight, and then Sarada has to break it up. All the while, Himawari is there, and she's just embarrassed as fuck because this happens all the time. uh, and then what ends up happening is that Boruto and the others are trying to teach a lesson by having them have to fight over lunch, right? So they bring over Thunderburgers and they have to fight in between them. And a lot of the students take it very seriously. But the whole thing starts to crumble because one of the students is like, oh, I don't like conflict and I have a candy bar and that's all I need in order to keep me going, so I don't want to take away someone else's lunch. One of the other kids takes it really fucking seriously and is like, oh, well, that just defeats the whole point of the lesson. So he takes away the candy bar and he's like, that's mine, and then, take it seriously and blah, 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 blah. And then the whole rest of the episode is basically just their teacher trying to get the two sides to join back up together so that way they can be a proper classroom again. And the whole focus of the episode is basically just her trying to show off that she is worthy of being a teacher and that the kids can have trust in her because she acknowledges their, what they enjoy. One of the students that, was the whole head front of the confrontation and confliction between the two, like the two halves of the class, is a fan of Mike Guy, and she acknowledges that, and she tries really hard to try to, she tries really hard to see what the other student enjoys, and then the other kid also acknowledges that she was trying really hard to bring the class back together and all this other stuff. They acknowledge aspects about their teacher that made them want to give it a chance as to what she was trying to show them. So with a whole bunch of pieces of paper that I'm assuming that she cut up together, she then uses her own wind style jutsu, I'm assuming, to go ahead and start making all of these pieces of paper flying, and it sort of looks like that's a whole bunch of cherry blossom petals just flowing through the air, and it looks nice and they enjoy it, and she touches the hearts and minds of the students, and they all decide to go ahead and start eating together as a class, and she even decides to make the lunch as well despite not being a very good cook. It's a very just nice and wholesome episode, and it's just another slice of life thing, but just in the Naruto universe. That's basically what's just been going on throughout these entire episodes. It's slice of life, but in the Naruto episode, but then in the background you're like, but Kawaki has to protect this princess or else someone's gonna come and assassinate her or some shit. And that's basically what's just been going on. That's what's been happening for the past couple of weeks. And yeah, it's just been kind of whatever. It's been sort of just mediocrity, just after mediocrity. It's not exactly bad, but it's also not amazing either. I have to find reasons to justify to myself why I enjoyed the episode for what it is, and why I'm still even watching the show on a week-to-week basis and still talking about it on a week-to-week basis. It's really hard for me to try to figure out something, so whenever I have to come and start doing the commentary for the video, it's just really difficult for me to find stuff to really talk about and justify why you should go watch it. Because honestly, you don't even really need to watch these episodes. They're fine for what they are, but they're not exactly the best thing to watch from the Boruto anime. There's a whole bunch more that is substantially more interesting to watch than this. But here I am regardless, still talking about it. still trying to say something good about it. And yeah, it's like, for what it is and for what it does, it was kind of nice. It's a slice of life episode, but just done in a Naruto way. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say. That's pretty much it. I'm still battling a cough. I'm sorry. I'm still battling a cough from when I got sick a couple of weeks ago, and it sucks. Anyways, that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. I have a video that I'm working on by collecting a couple of different clips from my friends and myself from when we're playing online. Hopefully it'll be out by like maybe next week, because I might want to still spend the rest of this week getting a couple more funny moments for that video. So depending on what happens, you're going to end up seeing it maybe later this week if I decide to edit it all together and just upload it as is, or, you know, wait until next week. What I'm going to upload later this week, though, I have no fucking idea. But that's basically it. That's all I have to say. Like the video, subscribe. I'll see you guys next one. I'm out. Peace.